couple of decades, this was the only Batman most people knew of on their screens, the great Adam West. But for those true Batman fans out there, they wanted something a bit more darker and edgier, more in line with what they saw in the comic books. And then out of the blue comes Tim Burton, like a wrecking ball, ready to smash everyone's perceptions of what Batman should be. And so I give to you this is a live-action superhero film that comes in at 126 minutes and debuted into cinemas on the 19th of June 1989. The movie was written by Hamm and Warren Skaaren and was directed by the great Tim Burton. It was released on a DVD on the 25th of March 1997 and later on Blu-ray on the 19th of May 2009, as well as on 4K HD on the 4th of June 2019. The story is set in Gotham City, which is in the grip of a crime wave that is engulfing the city when a mysterious vigilante known as Batman emerges to restore order. But when the city's underworld is further thrown into chaos when the psychotic criminal Jack Napier becomes the disfigured and vengeful Joker, Batman must grapple with his own identity and past while facing Joker's deadly plans to wreak havoc all over Gotham. The Dark Knight battles against time to save the city and its citizens from the Joker's diabolical schemes and save the woman he loves. This movie not only managed to redefine the superhero genre, but also it set the bar high for that dark and atmospheric storytelling in superhero movies. The script itself, it delves into the psyche of the iconic caped crusader, bringing to life the brooding and complex character that is Batman, like we'd never really seen before in cinema. One of the strengths of this script lies in its ability to balance the darkness of Gotham City with moments of intense action and suspense. It also does a great job of capturing the essence of the original comic book with a noir-like atmosphere with a modern edge. And with Tim Burton's direction, it complements the script perfectly, creating this sort of visually stunning and immersive world that manages to be both gothic and modern at the same time. While there were some deviations from the comic book source material, like say for instance the Joker had killed Batman's parents when he was a young man, the script it does successfully capture the essence of Batman's world and mythology. I feel it really strikes a great balance between respecting the source material and also providing a fresh cinematic take on the characters and Gotham City. Look, all round, it's a great script and the story is good as well. So for me, look, I'm probably going to give it a 28 out of 30.
Mean kid, bads, hurt people. I like him already.
While it's not a direct adaptation of any specific comic book storyline, it does draw heavy inspiration from the rich source material of the Batman comics. But at the same time, they took creative liberties and crafted its own narrative to capture the gothic and noir aesthetics present in many Batman comic books over the years. One of the main reasons this movie is great is its atmosphere and its cityscapes, thanks to the genius that is Tim Burton. His melding of that real sort of modern and gothic looks creates a backdrop that almost becomes its own character in the film. In many ways, I feel I feel he managed to influence pretty much every cinematic version of Batman, either in movies or cartoons, that came after it in so many ways and shapes and forms because of this movie.
Totally see that now.
If we look at the cast list, there are some great actors here, that's for sure. And I think, for me, not one person in this supporting cast really lets this movie down at all. And the casting director, they did a great job here and they deserve a raise. But for this, I just really want to focus on our two main leads, as both absolutely knocked it out of the park, as Michael Keaton's portrayal of Batman and Bruce Wayne, which you have to remember back then was initially met with skepticism that he wasn't the right choice for this movie. But look, thankfully, Keaton defied all expectations and delivered us a Batman that was both enigmatic and human at the same time, with his ability to convey his internal struggles as Bruce Wayne, which just adds layers to the character, making him really one of the most memorable Dark Knights in cinematic history to this day. And probably in most people's opinions, I would say out there, the real star of this film is Jack Nicholson as the Joker, in which his performance was nothing short of iconic. Nicholson brings this magnetic energy to the screen while staying true to the core elements of the iconic villain, infusing the character with this perfect blend of like madness and charisma that it's a sheer joy to watch up on screen, and managed to really elevate the role to another level in this film. And look, with these great actors and the visionary that is Tim Burton, how could you go wrong with this film? So look, for that, I'm going to give it a well-deserved 20 out of 20.
You must be joking.
Do I look like I'm joking?
Okay, as we look at the case, it is just the logo, which if you look at one of the documentaries, they talk about how iconic that logo became and the imagery and stuff. So as soon as you see that logo, you know what movie it is. But in saying that, it's not dynamic, it's not this, it's not really anything, it's just the logo. So as good and as iconic as that is, it is pretty, there's not really a lot going on in that sense of the thing, like from a graphic design perspective, shall we say. On the side, it's very, they didn't really go too much on the Batman on the side there, as you can see. I'll get a bit closer. So together, when you've got all the movies, yeah, sure, they look good, but I don't know, I want something to pop a little bit more. And on the back, it's literally just, there's not even pictures on it, because they've got to cram in all the special features and everything else. It's just all that. So there's not a real lot going on the back cover. Now, so we look at the discs, holy shit, that's actually not a great job. You can barely see Batman in that one, and because this is the 25th anniversary special disc one, you get a second disc, there's the Joker, but bugging me dead, you can barely see it. So overall, like, it's good, it's iconic, but is there anything special about it? Not really, and the discs let's kind of let it down a bit. So for me, look, I'm probably going to give it a 7 out of 10.
It's time for Who Do You Trust? Hubba, hubba, hubba. Money, money, money. Who do you trust?
So this thing is jam-packed with special features, and they include, take a breath, Troy, audio commentary, Shadows of the Bat, the cinematic saga of the Dark Knight, Beyond Batman, Legends of the Dark Knight, the history of Batman, Batman the Heroes, Batman the Villains, Batman the Complete Robin storyboard sequence, on set with Bob Kane, music videos by Prince, and the trailer. Take a breath there. That's all on your standard Blu-ray edition. But hey, if you've got the 25th anniversary Blu-ray, which I have here, you also get an extra disc, and that has the birth of the modern blockbuster documentary. Look, every special feature on these discs are worth watching in themselves. It just gives you so much more insight into the movie, and if you're like me and you love that stuff, then make sure you get either the two Blu-rays or the 4K HD version, which also has this as well. It's Look, it's such an outstanding effort when it comes to this department. They have gone well above and beyond when it comes to special features for this release. So for that, it's probably the first time I've ever done it. I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10.
Get those wonderful toys.
As I bring up the Rotten Tomatoes scorecard, as you can see, the critics came in at 76%. While the audience score came in at, 84%. So no real surprises on the audience score, as it's such a beloved movie by a lot of people, not just like comic book fans like myself. But the critics, it's a little lower than I thought it would be. But then look, when I read some of the bad reviews of the movies out there, they were very, how can I put it, they're very vague and sweeping and not really pointing to like any one thing in particular, which, I don't know, that's usually the case when you're trying to say something bad about something without really pointing to why. What their motivations are, I don't know, but that's kind of my take on those bad reviews. Anyway, look, if we round it up, we're going to get a score of, a pretty good score actually, of 8 out of 10.
Come on, you gruesome son of a bitch. Come to me.
Okay, first off, I would like to thank one of my awesome subscribers, Nathaniel, who suggested I review one of his favourite Batman movies. And I thought, well, bugger it. If I'm going to review this one, Christ, I should do all 4 of them in a row. And of course, I put it out to you, and it was a resounding yes from you all out there for me to do a review of all the 4 Batman movies. So if you just keep your eye out in the coming weeks, I'll be doing them dun, 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 as they pop up around me in order. But for me, how can you not love this film? As if you were around in the late 80s when this was released, it just hit the pop culture scene like a juggernaut. It birthed what we consider now the modern blockbuster. When I watched it again for this review, I'd kind of forgot how good it is. Granted, it may be just a little cheesy in a couple of spots, say, compared to what we watch nowadays. But look, it's not enough to really detract from the movie as this timeless classic for any fan of the superhero genre.
Really? Anyone?
I have very fond memories of when this movie came out, and I was just blown away by it. And not to mention all the associated merch like toys, collector cards, comics, posters, magazines, and of course video games. God, I can't tell you how many hours I lost playing the Batman movie game on the old Commodore 64. Damn, I love that game. But yes, I did love the movie as well. And I had it on an old VHS tape that I probably wore out. Look, it was such a joy to watch it again. And I watched it with my daughter Lucy, and she enjoyed it with me. You know, it was great to sit there and show her something that I loved so much when I was a teenager as well. So with that, how could I not give it, especially when it stirs up all these fond nostalgic memories, I'm going to give it a 20 out of 20.
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? I always ask that of all my prey. I just like the sound of it.
Okay, if we look at the collectibility, like, yeah, this is a 5 out of 5. You need it in your collection. There's no two ways about it. Like, if you don't have this Batman movie in your collection, you don't have a collection. I'm sorry. This is a definite must-have. If you're going to collect something like this, if you don't have it, there's something wrong with you. Sorry. And as far as availability goes, well, my God, if this isn't the most common flick you will ever find out there, there is so many DVD releases. Like over the years, I can't begin to tell you how many releases there are. I couldn't list them all. And how many different covers and versions and whatever else. Honestly, it doesn't matter what you want. DVD, Blu-ray or 4K HD. My God, there is shitloads out there. So that's why it's all one. Very easy to get. Now, as far as your average price goes, you're looking somewhere between Yeah, only $4 to $12 for DVD, and if you're looking for the Blu-ray, you're probably looking around the $11 to $26 mark. But if you're going to go the high end and get the old 4K HD, that comes in at around $27 to about the $48 mark, as it's still relatively new. Now, for the final score, we get a grand total of 93 out of 100. Wow, what a fantastic score. And a well-deserved score at that. Look, this movie remains a timeless classic. Whether you're a fan of the Caped Crusader or just simply appreciate a well-crafted superhero movie, it continues to be a must-watch for audiences of all generations.
I want you to tell all your friends about me.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
Hey, so if you like this video and you want to see some more of my reviews, why don't you click that one? Or maybe you want to see some of my collection updates. Got you covered too. Why don't you click that one? And of course, don't forget to do the most important thing. Don't forget to throw me a like. And don't forget to hit that subscription button on the way out. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.